Let's go, other way, other way, other way. 5 more that way, left, 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 left. 5 more, hands up. 2, 3, 4, 5, good man. 10, you got 10 more and then we're done. 10 more and then you can rest. 10 more, let's go. Come on, it's the end of the round. 9, 2, 1, good work. Good. So that's going to become a staple as you work. That's going to become nice and smooth eventually. Become easy. Do you look forward to the end of training?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah. Or I asked that truthfully because, like, I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, gosh, it's an hour and a half, whatever it is, do my work and get it to go by. But this, I mean, it's not like I'm looking at this like
fully enjoy.
Gosh, I wish we could make it just stretch it out longer.
All right, my question to you. Here's a good way of looking at that. Do you enjoy, on a journey to becoming a millionaire, was the long hours where there was loads of stress and you had to fix loads of problems that weren't enjoyable and it was just bullshit and you wanted nothing more than just to stop building your own company? Did you enjoy that moment?
No, I'd say no.
The point is, it's a reframe. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the exact same thing with this. No world champion ever, no top athlete, no human is at a 90% heart rate zone, like over and over again, or like they've got DOMS, which means soreness in the muscles from repeated workouts.
Right.
They're under recovered, they haven't eaten, they're in the middle of like wanting to quit, it's new territory, it just feels getting beaten, they don't feel they're making progress. No one enjoys hard training.
Okay.
But the difference between top level guys and then the guys that just don't make it, or the ones that are just and lazy, is the mind. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just a reframe. That's all it is everything. And this is why it's such a cliche here all the time, because it is actually so true. It is all in the mind. Everyone can be tired. It's not hard for a human to break themselves in training and be tired. Everyone can turn up and just break themselves. It's the special people that are able to put themselves mentally in a place where they actually enjoy it. Do you get what I'm saying? And you hypnotize and convince yourself you enjoy it because you have to. What's your other choice?
Yeah.
Admitting you don't enjoy it and then you stop.
So you hypnotize yourself into, no, I am enjoying this.
Bro, there's so many different ways, honestly. There's so many different techniques. Like, one is you convince yourself you enjoy it to the point you enjoy it. So you'll hear me saying, like, I love this is where you want to be. I'll talk to myself in the third person and be like, I want to be here. Where else would you rather be? Because it's true. What's my other option? Sitting at home, in bed, and regretting not coming training. That feeling is way worse than the pain of training.
Yeah.
That is genuinely worse. And then also you have the literal dopamine feeling of like good neurotransmitter balance and a feel-good factor, which you're going to get after the training you know about. Ask any soldier about this, like special forces guys when they go through the selection. Imagine that. Have you heard about that? Like the shit they do, like Navy SEALs, Hell Week, no sleep for a week, just cold and wet, not sleeping. Like it's all in the mind. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I find it inspiring. I think it's cool because it negates and it neutralizes all physical advantages and genetic gifts. Plenty of guys that have got the halo effect that were born genetically superior, they quit during Navy SEAL week because they've never been in that place in their mind. So what I enjoy is in these moments where you want to quit, you realize, oh, guess what? I don't have any advantages right now other than my mind, which I can control, and I'm going to choose to be better than everyone else. To be honest, that's probably the biggest transformation for you out of this whole process. Like, yeah, the weight and the body and shit will change, but you're going to think a lot differently for the rest of your life. It's going to be sick.
I told you coming into this, I mean, yeah, if somebody from the outside looks and it's like, you've got to lose weight, that's your... Yeah, I do, but I also know that the weight is not the problem. There's a problem that leads to the weight.
Of course,
and that's the thing that I wanted to fix. That's why I said I want to download your brain, download your thinking, download how you're dealing with a hardship. The hardship being, well, I got to go run a 5K.
Yeah, of course. Tons of ways. We'll get onto it. Right, so you can see it's disjointed because the core is not active. So let's remind. The kinetic chain for throwing across and knocking someone the fuck out. Starts, ball of the foot on the punching side, loads up to create kinetic potential. You push off of the floor, which is where you get your force for the strike from. You connect it via the posterior chain of the calves, the hamstring. Here's the most important part. The contraction of the glute med and the glute max on the punching side is what throws all of that force forward into a target. When I say all that force, I mean the force from the ground and my intention and my center of mass, literally, and my spiritual energy of who the fuck I am. Who I am literally with my mass, who I am with my intention. It all gets thrusted forward via this glute. That force is contained efficiently into a strike via the TVA, the core, containing it together. So I push and I engage and constrict, contain, here, here. And if you notice, all of these joints on the legs, hips, shoulders of the punching side, they rotate around my spine together. They're synchronized. Here, 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 here. It's going forward all together. It's the whole body as one unit. Right now you're disconnected into two parts, your hips and your shoulders. Bring them all together via the core. The core is what glues it all together. Squeeze the TVA and bring it back. That's it, look at that. So the ankle, the knee, the hip, the shoulder and the ear, all on that punch inside, they move together. Pull it back on that left side still. Use the core, keep the core on. Keep the core on as you come back. There it is, there it is. Give me 2 more reps like that, just like that. Pull it back consciously with the core. Good man, good. Have a little break. So here's the thing, bro. Imagine, so right there, you're learning to efficiently transfer hundreds of kilos of mass. Imagine you then connect that to a fist. Do you realize how dangerous that's gonna be? It's gonna be absolutely lethal. It'll be like a bazooka. Where are we at on the heart rate? Here's the really beautiful thing. The better you get at this biomechanically, the less energy you take. Yeah. So it just gets easier, but the better you get. The more you focus on the technique, the less effort you have to use. Through the nose, through the nose. Powerful exhale, take control of the exhale. Through the mouth, good. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and be aware of your recovery. Active, we're always active, we're not passengers in life. There you go, look at that, you're coming back down to the blue zone, just like that, perfect. So your recovery, even after like a few sessions that we've had, your recovery is already improving because you're coming from green to blue a lot faster than you were. And it's because you're breathing consciously now. Alright, we're going to take Jonathan to the physiotherapist for the first time in his life, bro. My man's 47 years old. Hella out of shape, really unhealthy, physically unhealthy. He's never been to a physio, an osteopath, a chiropractor, you get me? Like, and there's a lesson here which is huge. It's the first principle I teach from anyone who does boxing and striking and martial arts from me. I have 6 principles. The first one, and they're in this order of importance. The first one is anatomy. You have to know you have to be obsessed with biomechanics and understand how something is constructed in order to understand how it works, how it operates. Whether that's fighting, how does the musculoskeletal system of a human operate? How can you turn that into a weapon? How can you weaponize it and deconstruct someone else's anatomy? But you have to dial it down to the absolute blueprint, basics of what is. Jonathan's gonna go to the physio for the first time ever. And there's 2 reasons for this. One is to literally heal the imbalances in his body. So his right trap is which I noticed in the mobility test. So everyone that trains with me does mobility test and we look at where you're blocked, where you're smooth, where you're strong, where you're weak. Everything's dualistic, just like the universe, yin and yang, polarity. So the first is to literally heal his imbalances, and then the second is to teach him so that he can carry this new principle forward into his life, which is to be healthy. You need to exercise and eat properly. To exercise and eat properly, you need to be able to mechanically. It's not about just getting really strong on a bench press in one plane of motion. It's about being fluid and balanced across push, pull, up, down, left, right, in, out. You get me? Multi-dimensional fluidity, unimpeded, economical efficiency of movement. That's wealth. Wealth is movement. Wealth is choice. Wealth is freedom. You want the freedom to literally move. How rich are you if you've got $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion, and you can't do what you want with your own body because your body's fighting you? You can't even get into your Lamborghini without your back hurting. You get what I'm saying? What the f is the point in any of that? A lot of guys can't even control their own feet. With Jonathan, he can't stop his own toes from flexing against his will. So to him, big man, like you're talking about making 100 grand a month and that, your own toes won't listen to you, fam. So it's about understanding the anatomy of your body so that you can control it better and become wealthier through uninhibited movement. That's the aim here, you get me? That's where all success starts from. Holistic, sustainable, scalable success in mind, body and spirit. Dial it into the anatomical principles.
All overuse the upper trachea. Relax, please. Hand behind your head. pain or tight?
Tight, very tight.
Okay, where you feel? Same area?
Back of shoulders.
Okay, relax.
Oh!
Okay.
Twins. Welcome. Welcome to the world of underactive glutes. You get the VIP pass right in the front with me.
Oh!
โอเค sorry นะครับ so the glute
Oh, jab.
Okay. The muscle around and the tissue around the knee have two more activation.
Yeah.
But for now, the more activation is about the hamstring and the gastrocnemius around here. That's close to the knee joint line. That's why he will feel pain and the.
Because it's where all the weight is finishing, right? It's where
It support all
exactly.
on the knee.
Okay. So by activating and strengthening that right glute more is going to take away that pain, isn't it? Over time. Combined with the weight loss all together. It's a good tip, John. When he's pressing on these trigger points and it's going like 8 out of 10 pain, make sure you're breathing out. There you go. Yeah, good man. The slower and more controlled you breathe out, the more it relaxes, the faster it will feel good. There you go. Beautiful. When he was back in America, I was saying just move your body twice a day. I don't even care how much, just do it. Just gave him some outlines, some basic stuff to do like walking, a few little Tai Chi exercises, mobility stuff. A couple of adaptations that I've had to make so far, working with someone who is in such a unique position of just their health being so f***ed and their habits being so bad for so long. Firstly, is realizing that to get to this point of unhealthiness and overweightness, there has to have been a weak mindset and some traumas and stuff like that that hasn't been addressed for ages. Because the body doesn't know, by the way, when you put it through starvation, essentially, the body has no idea you're intentionally trying to lose weight. It just thinks, oh, I'm not eating, so therefore I'm under threat. So it convinces you that you need to gorge to make up for the lost calories. And the body does all kinds of tricks like that for survival. It will tank your dopamine and then reward you when you eat loads. It will just convince you that you need to eat, which is what's happening to him. And then that's followed by a few days of like bad habit, of like thinking patterns where it's like, well, I've my diet, so I might as well keep eating. And I'll start again next week and all this kind of typical weak-minded, fat thinking, fat person thinking, unhealthy thinking, not even just fat. Same with drugs, again, same with heroin, same with alcohol, same with all this. The first thing was realizing, look, you're not eating enough, John. So he was doing all right, he was eating a big deficit, but then packing it all back on, and it was capped like at the end of the week. So first 5 days were in a big deficit, last 2 days, followed by like 3 more days, would make up for all those lost calories to the point there was actually a weight increase. So I was saying, look, you need to eat more, stop being in such a deficit leading up to the weekend, just eat like once more in the day. Now, this isn't gonna lead to immediate a lot of weight loss, but what it will do is enable him to work out intense exercises for sustainably and build a new habit and relationship to exercise and movement and energy levels. Now he's going to start moving better and becoming more aware of his body and looking at himself and going, oh look, I've just been moving twice a day for a month, which is more than I've done in the past 3 decades. That's going to be a big win there. To ask someone who's not been exercising, has had no discipline for a very long time, associated with a lot of shame and guilt, to just do all of this at once. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. So I'm breaking it down into like, let's just start with just moving twice a day. Let's push ourselves in the sessions and not quit like a little in the middle of the sessions. Let's just start moving the body better. If you can't get up from a chair without pushing on the armrest because you're not used to using your core to stand up, for example, let's focus on that. Let's just start moving on an everyday level more efficiently in a way that you're proud of yourself. And this is where you have to be holistic as a coach, where I'm like, all right, looking a certain way isn't the actual thing that we want. It's the feeling of fulfillment and self-respect that looking that way gives you. I'm saying to him, just over the first couple of weeks, just start moving consciously, start moving and walking with some self-respect and not all lumbered and just moving like an idiot. So that there, and watch how the world just treats you better. Someone that stands better, you align yourself with a strong core, with strong glutes, start moving and firing the body properly, like start aligning your pelvis properly. Yeah, big toe equals glute. Just think of that equation. Yeah, that looks good. That looks like a strong stride as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying to people, you can train all the time. Getting up from a chair, walking along, it's training, it's all training. But your mind and your body, you know what I'm saying? But it's about when someone has no foundation to begin with, you can't just hit them with everything at once because it is just unsustainable. And even if they want it mentally, they're like, no, I'm ready, give me everything. it's such a schema shift. It's like me saying, yo, I want to go to space. I'm ready to go live on Mars. Let me go see what it's like being an astronaut. I've had no training. I've never done it, but send me up there. I'll be fine because I really believe I will. If I've literally never had any training to be an astronaut, best believe I'm just going to, my head's going to explode as soon as I get there. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same with this. Like, build the habits, get used to the process, then start layering on more challenges as you go. Through a workout that you know you're pushing yourself in to a level that you know you can't push yourself anymore is game. This is pickup skills here. This is what gets you chicks, because the main thing girls are attracted to is confidence and resilience. Like, if you can just demonstrate, and competence obviously. So like, if you can demonstrate, and you only get that, you only develop those things, not by studying them in books like a nerd or watching YouTube videos, but pushing yourself in workouts. That's it. And in life, you just exude that confidence because you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, and you ask yourself, have I pushed myself as much as I possibly could? Is there anything more I could have done this week to be better than I currently am? No. You know what I'm saying? You look at the data, record your heart rate, look at your face, black eyes, sweating, seeing the weight fall off, seeing your movement improve. All of that gives you so much more, it gives you so much more inner confidence and nerve force and charisma than just learning about some contrived move in a pickup book. So much more. So that's why the gym is actually the best thing for getting women. Data is so important. Anytime you're doing physique transformations, fight camps, health transformations, whether you want to learn, whether you want to get a six-pack, lose weight, make a weight for a fight, fix your gut, make more money, it doesn't matter. You need data, right? You need to know where you're coming from, point A, where you're trying to get to, point B. You need to observe the numerical data. Look, so that's what we're doing here with John. We get 60% body fat, that was my guess. It just says you're sexy, sexy and unstoppable.
I'm shredded.
Right, yeah, so point is you need data. These machines, what they do is it tells you what each limb, how heavy it is, how much muscle it has, how much fat it has, how hydrated are you. You get varying degrees of how detailed these machines can get. These are pretty basic, they're very cheap. It's like $20 if that, so just get one ASAP. You should be doing this like every few months. Skeletal mass, bone density, muscle mass for each limb, called segmental analysis, belly fat, visceral fat, some of them, which is how much fat you have between your organs. There are two primary types of fat that we care about when we're talking about health. One is like visible fat, which is like around your stomach, and second is visceral fat, which you can't actually see, and that's what's in between your organs. That there is the one that matters most generally for your overall well-being. That needs to be in a good range. So yeah, basically we're looking at John, seeing where he's at, and then carry on doing our program. We'll come back and do this again in 1 month, 2 months, in 3 months, in 1 year. As long as he's hitting the goals that we have, then clearly the program's working. If he's not, then something needs to change in the program. But you can only really, there's two main things you need to bear in mind when assessing whether someone's making progress, whether that's you, whether that's a client, whatever. One is symptoms and two is data. So I'm saying, look, so the two things we need to bear in mind to track whether this program's working for you and whether you're getting healthy. One is the data, the numbers actually improving visually, and second is the symptoms. So quantitative, i.e. the data, qualitative, i.e. how do you feel? You know what I'm saying? So we want to try and make sure that they're both correlating. So what's it saying? My guess would be about 60% body fat. That was what my guess was before you came over. What's it saying?
Percent body fat, 52.
Okay. And we said you have to give or take about 10%, so that's pretty much in range.
So what is that?
What we assumed it would be. So how much of me is gold? You just said to me, you just made the point, you said, you Brits don't realise just how many guns that we've got in the US. And I said to you, all right, how many have you got? And you made a face and you went, well, I haven't really got that many. Being dead serious. Yeah. I said, how many? And you said, I genuinely don't have that many. I said, all right, well, how many have you got?
Yeah, I'm not a gun junkie. I probably have like 50 guns.
Bruv. Stop, don't just carry on like you're
probably like 10,000 rounds of ammunition. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not joking.
This is how you know John's gonna win in 2024, because it's New Year's Day. Yeah, it's like
8 a.m. on New Year's Day. There is not a soul awake. I feel like I went out last night and I feel like, you know, a hot dog at the end of a party that never got eaten. Like at the start of a party when the buns are all fresh and warm and all the hot dogs have just been made. Everyone's like, yo, have a hot dog. And at the end, there's always one that just didn't get eaten. That's my vibrational state right now, you get me? And Jonathan didn't go out, he's raring to go, as he should be, because we're gonna go take over 2024. You're done, no, come on. First breath of 2024. I smell the success. I smell the imminent success. I smell the imminent eminence. What about that one? How about that for a bar? Imminent eminence. What's it like being the only one out?
The only people in Thailand awake right now.
Yeah, so basically, look, I'm with John, and I just posted my video about my origin story. There's a little tip about how much your upbringing and your programming growing up inevitably affects you. I'll tell you why. I just posted my origin story with man like John Fife. We're about to do a session, and I was just saying to him that it took me like 3 months to get the courage to post that video because I was just so anxious and nervous because it's quite emotionally deep. And John said it took you 3 months. What'd you say, John? What'd you ask?
I said you waited 3 months to help some people.
Yeah.
To positively impact some people that needed it. So that you could wallow and worry and be concerned and hope that it didn't get made fun of and hope that it got received and got a bunch of likes and all these other nonsense things. When really, if you'd have just dumped it out 3 months ago, you'd have been helping people then.
Yeah, it's true. 3 months of not helping people. But here's my point. Even as I stand here now, yeah. So I woke up and had really nice positive DMs, people saying you helped me a lot, got me through some dark things, I've watched it 20 times like this. Even now, even though I've just had so much feedback, the one thing going through my head is, growing up, anytime I did anything like this positively, where I got good responses and shit, my mum would always, and this isn't a diss on her, it's not her fault, it was her programming, she would always say to me, yeah, but. And I've got to emphasize, like, she's an amazing person, highly intelligent, but it's just her programming. And my point is that impacted me, because that was all I was hit with growing up. And I'm phenomenally talented, like very blessed to have a lot of ability to impact the world. And I never did it. And the reason that it took me 3 months to post this thing, and the reason it's took me 3 decades to even get to this point, is because in my head I've always had these falsities, you know what I'm saying? These doubts. So the lesson here is that your developmental psychology, how you were raised, will 100. I'm 30 years old. I live 12,000 miles from her, doing whatever I want every day. You get what I'm saying? It's not that I need her opinion or anything. It's just even 3 decades later, it's still relevant. Do you get what I'm saying? So these are the kinds of things that you have to overcome. And a lot of people, I'm very self-aware because I've been working on this for a long time. A lot of people don't even understand their program and they don't even understand where their limitations come from.
Anyone thinking I'm beating up on Samrez for waiting 3 months, he's been telling me for a year that I need to get on social media, track my fitness journey, some other just personal life things that I've got going on, and I've been very, very, very resistant. A lot more resistant than he's been to putting out a video about that. So I'm giving him a hard time, but it's because it's the same things I've said to myself.
And this is my fucking point. This is my whole point. Is that even like everyone is affected by these self-doubts. You just got to work out where they come from, and then just stop giving a fuck about them or do something to overcome them. There's so much value that everyone has. Like John could change the world. You just got to get his shit together enough to do it. You know what I mean? Mentally overcome this nonsense, all this false programming. And by the way, if you ever noticed, the only people, this is so important, the only people that will ever tell you not to do something or put doubt in your mind is people that haven't done it themselves. You get me? Isn't that true, John?
All criticism comes from below.
All criticism comes from below. 100%. The only people that's holding you back, that you're letting hold you back, is people that haven't done it. So why the fuck would you care what they think anyway? You get me? People like me that's actually doing it will tell you go get it. We're the ones that will unlock your power because we're doing it for ourselves. Stop being a yo. So John just basically blitzed the PR. One of the main exercises that he needs to get good at is just lying down and standing up, lying completely on the floor, standing up again, which is just good for general life vitality, a test for life vitality and ability to carry the body. And when you started this, we started 2 weeks ago, it took you 7 minutes to do 10 reps.
And as part of a circuit just now, you did 8 reps in 3 minutes. So you basically just doubled your speed. You were on rep number 7, you had 15 seconds to go in the round. And I told you, I was like, look, if you want, I didn't think you were going to do it. I said, there's 15 seconds if you want, try to get a PR. And you just literally dropped to the floor and got straight back up.
You asked me what was my motivation. You thought I was horny.
Oh yeah, because he's going out just getting chick numbers and shit. And I was like, is it from...
And I said,
Is it from
no,
the...
it had nothing to do with that. And because I can't ever just give simple answers for anything, I said this is going to be easy for you to understand. Working out, but you apply it to business. It is purely a data. Purely, it's all about data. And by virtue of having the data feedback, it made it next to impossible for me to think, well, I'm that close to setting a record. How can I not do it? And it's the same motivation with the sales team or your business to hit your end of the year numbers. Anything is when you have those numbers looking you in the face and you have something to go up against. That's what gives you the shot. That's what gives you the power.
As good as I'm at teaching and inspiring out, I can't really track data that well. In terms of like tracking growth, all I really do is go, oh, this month I made a bit more than last month and I've done that 3 months in a row, that must mean I'm growing. That's the extent of it. Is that all I should do really?
Feelings aren't insignificant. You want to feel good. You want to feel the feelings that you ultimately desire to feel. Is, I'd say, the only reason you're doing anything at all in the first place. Yeah, that's meaningful. I would. I'm not for the space that you're in. I'm not the best person to give any kind of feedback on that. But yeah, I would think that there'd be you got to have something out in front of you that you can push towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figure out what that thing is and put that into a...
It's called Don Dojo. Get involved. Don't be a dickhead. Come learn to fight and get healthy as